Okay, well, it is 1:05. Shall we?
Yes.
How's everybody doing? Okay, so let's open up the mics and go down the list and do check-ins. We've got how many people on the call? Lisa, Carrie, Dallas, Kathy, Daniel, Jackie, Gandalf, Amanda, Joe, and Sally. Welcome, everybody, to the Wednesday afternoon in Hawaii weekly planning, NatGat planning visioning call type thing. So, Lisa, you want to check in first, and then we'll go down the list with Dallas next?
Sure. Okay, this is Lisa with Occupy Sacramento. Checking in. I check.
Aloha, Lisa, or Dallas, you want to say hi?
Hi, this is Dallas calling in from Brooklyn. Check.
Right on. Hello, aloha. We have Kathy, followed by Daniel and Jackie.
Okay, this is Kathy.
Oh, there you are. I'm sorry,
Hi,
go ahead.
Kathy from Occupy Sacramento. Checking in. Check.
Aloha. Oh, my people keep moving. Daniel, you're on. Go ahead.
Hi, Daniel from Occupy Portland, Oregon. Check.
Aloha. Amanda, can you say hi, or we'll just say hi for Amanda? She's in class. Yes, she's in class. Aloha, Amanda. Thanks for checking in and listening with us. Let's see. Okay, Lisa, can you not turn on the mics? I'll do the mics. It's how I do stack, and it's how I remember who I've called on and stuff, so people keep moving. Jackie, you're on.
Hello, Jackie up by Buffalo. Wish I was in Brooklyn, Dallas. Check.
Aloha. Okay. I'm sorry, I checked in late. I did not get myself together at all, and my thing crashed right before I called in, so I'm still trying to get it together. But whoever's on the dashboard, I think, Lisa, please don't touch the mic or the hands or anything. I got it. We only got like 12 people on the dashboard.
Oh, okay. I won't touch them.
Okay. Thank you. You can turn yourself on or off, or definitely if I disappear, but it makes the names move and it's messing me up. Okay. Gandalf, would you like to say hello?
Well, I definitely would. Hello, everyone. Gandalf from Occupy Sacramento checking in.
Aloha. Welcome. Okay, we also have Joe, then Sally, then Nikki. Joe, say hello.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Joe Hack from Pueblo House, Pueblo, Colorado. Check.
Aloha, Joe. Sally, you want to say hi?
Is that me?
Sally G, you're up.
Yes. Okay. Hi. I am on a New Jersey Transit train. I may be in a quiet car, so I'm going to be pretty quiet. Check.
Right on. And then we have Nikki from Palm Springs. Nikki, you want to say hi?
Hi, Nikki from Palm Springs, also in a public space, so listening only. Check.
Okay. Thanks for checking in and listening. Okay, I think that is everybody. So the usual. I think we have the usual suspects on the call today. So everybody knows all the stuff. 1 is raise your hand to talk. 4 is a direct response. 2 is up twinkle. 3 is down twinkle. The Titan Pad. The agenda is on the Titan Pad 4. If everybody could please, if you're able to, open that up in another window or something so we can follow along with that. I'm Carrie from Occupy Hilo. Aloha, everybody. I'm your facilitator today. And we have Jackie helping with TA, and Daniel is taking notes. Mahalo, Daniel. Very important job. Okay, so before we get going on the agenda with the report backs, is basically the next thing up. Is there anybody that needs to raise their hand and say something first before we just get to report back? Press 1 if you want to talk. Otherwise, we're going to jam on through this very brief agenda. Okay, I see no hands. So, first thing on the agenda is report backs from working groups. The first one on the list, actually I moved up to the top, was process working group. And I don't know if we have anybody on the call from the process working group. And if you know anything about the process working group, please raise your hand just so we can at least check in. No process on the process. Nikki is up twinkling the process. Nikki, okay, I turned you on just for a second. Do you want to say anything about the process? Or Sally has raised her hand. Nikki, you're on.
I was going to say that I was on the process email group. I've received nothing from that in my email. So if there is somebody that is working on that, that would be awesome to connect back up with that. Over.
Okay. Right on. Thank you for that. And then we have Sally, who has raised her hand. Sally, you're on.
Sure. From what I've read on the notepads that seem to be most important for the Occupy Racism discussion, and once that got taken out of this group, but it seemed to have, I didn't see any more activity on that. So that's my sense. Check.
Okay. So I am not hearing too much process on the process. Well, we have had this rolling for about, a month. And so far, so much process. But we're still having calls, and we're still moving forward. So I think we kind of have a process. But does anybody else want to comment on that? I got a couple of twinkles on that. I mean, I think we're functioning. I think if anybody has issues with process, we should bring them up and deal with them on the spot and get through it and move on. We're on a schedule. You know, we have an event to produce this summer, and we need to keep moving forward. So I would like to temp check kind of sidelining the whole process through, since they're not really making any process. How does everybody feel about that? Okay, wait, I have to put my hands down, which I have not done. There we are. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been like a month since I've done this. It's like riding a bike, though. It looks sort of the same. Okay, so let's put the process thing aside for a while. How about, can I get a show of hands? 2, if you agree with not talking about process anymore and continuing the process. Or 3, if you think we need to revamp this somehow and revisit this issue. Otherwise, we've spent some time talking about it. I have 2 hands up so far, and that is it. 3 up, no downs, a whole bunch of maybe stand aside. 4 hands up, 5 hands up, 0 hands down. Okay, I think our process is processing forward. Okay, so we have made a decision that that's not going to be an agenda item anymore unless somebody sees fit to put it back up. Otherwise, the next thing on the list is report back for the sign-up group, which I admit I didn't completely understand. I thought it might have been about signing up to actually facilitate this call and TA and note take, but somebody has written in on the agenda that it was about signing up for the work groups listed, the ones that we're doing right now, the process, outreach, or not process anymore, but outreach, media, speakers, and fundraising. So is there anybody on the call that can speak to that? What's the sign-up mean to them and what we should do about that? No hands up. I think that was Chaz that put that on, and unfortunately he's not on the call today. But I think it's safe to say that we need to encourage people to sign up for these working groups. I don't know that we have that much diminishing numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people on the call right now. but this I see as kind of the core group. There's a few people that flit in and out, but I, for one, would love to see more people involved with signing up for everything. We need more outreach. So since nobody has raised their hand on that, we're going to move on to outreach. That's the next report back. Is there anybody on the call that can please do a report back from the outreach working group? We did actually, and there's media is right after that. And to be honest, the outreach media group did kind of merge over the last week or two. And we had a phone call a week ago, Saturday. Oh, the next call is on this coming Saturday, and we have them every 2 weeks. And I have 0. Where's the hand? I'm going to turn lights on until it's so noisy we can't stand it. How about that? All right, all your mics are on. There's only 11 of us here. Does anybody have anything to say about the first 3 agenda items?
This is Lisa in Occupy Sacramento, and Kathy will report more on venues that we've been looking at and places for camping. And I also talked with Stephen Payan, who has located a place. I'll talk more about that and the proper place. But what we're finding out is everything costs money. You know, we haven't found any pro bono, completely free places to camp, even though we found some that are fairly low price. If we're talking about, 300, 400, 500 people, the costs add up. So this is a plea for somebody to step forward and take a lead on fundraising, because in order to make this happen, we're going to have fundraising. I would be curious to know if there's anybody here from previous NatGat who did fundraising and how was fundraising done last year. I check.
Thank you. Anybody? All your mics are on. Anybody want to jump in?
Yeah. This is Sally. We did not do specific fundraising for venue last year. We did try and make a contract with the Lamplighter for $1,000 for the week, and then the police said you can't go there. And we found free spaces kind of on the fly. I'm not sure whether we paid the Peace Center anything at all. We used their copiers and paid for that service. We did have some leftover funding from Philadelphia, some seed money, which was, I don't think, any more than $2,000, and we're not sure that we spent it all. So, yeah, the total bare bones kind of Occupy style. Check.
Okay, thanks, Sally. Anybody else have thoughts on fundraising?
This is Kathy. I'll start contacting the local restaurants. I know they will give us like free meals to auction off. Start planning something like that. I was thinking about it before, but I was kind of waiting to know when the date. I could tell them the date of the event. But I'll get on that. Check.
Yeah, that's here Daniel speaking. To reply to Lisa. Yeah, definitely. Like, please, before people can even begin to think that they can just give us their money, they need to know at least when will this be, the date. So I feel, and I have experience in fundraising online. I use Indiegogo as a crowdfunding source for a lot of Occupy Portland projects. So I can help lead that as a national campaign. But I want more information myself.
That would be great. And Occupy Sacramento is meeting this Saturday, and we are planning to come up with a date. So I don't think we'll be dateless for too much longer. So that'd be wonderful if you could set something up on Indiegogo. I'd check.
This is Amanda. It's hard to fundraise when, like, if there's different venues, like knowing how much the cost is or whatnot. Check.
But Sally, yes and no. We know, certainly we're going to need $1,000 or so at minimum. Hopefully not a lot. And you simply. My take on the campaign would be high. It's Occupy National Gathering. We're going to do it on a shoestring. We're going to be in Sacramento this summer. Click for more information. Click to send a couple of bucks our way. Blah blah blah. Get the word out started, and fill in as we go along as we learn more. Check.
Hi, this is Dallas. If we're doing free speaking, I don't have to get on stack. I would caution, as I'm sure you guys are aware, we were quite frankly surprised by how successful fundraising was here in New York during the camp. And I would say first, be aware that the more detailed we can have the ask be before it goes on Indiegogo or wherever, the better this will work. If people know exactly where the money is going and how many people they're paying for, I think, sky's the limit. But, if we kind of just blue sky it like, hey, we're doing that, Dad, and here's no details at all, we're going to get accused of stealing the money outright. I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't think you guys feel like dealing with that. So my input here is let's make sure we know exactly what we need, like as itemized as a list as we can get before we start asking for money. Check.
Okay, good point, Dallas. Jackie, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the heck I was going to say. I agree with Dallas, and we already talked on another call. I said this week I would reach out and write to the finance group. I got bogged down, but I hope to do that in the next 2 days. At any rate, it's before we set something up right. We better get some more ducks in a row. There's already been 2 offers. Janet Wilson, is that her name, Joe?
Yeah.
From Pueblo House has offered. She's got a 401c3 and 4. Has offered to do some help. The AFGJ, the Alliance for Global Justice, that handles Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Sandy, and handled NatGat last year, are willing to do it for us again. There's certain advantages to having the 501c3s. For instance, with the Alliance for Global Justice, if we have an indoor event, it's covered by insurance. So I know some people had said some of those venues, there was, you'd have to pay for insurance, but it will cover indoor insurance, not outdoor events. They'll hand out receipts for taxes to people. A few other things. They even have some fundraising, like tips and things that she said we could even have a call with them about that. Or even maybe they have people that give grants. I'm not sure. So that's something I will get out a letter, and we'll have to, lay out what they have, lay out what Janet can do. But I also think there's going to be a need for little fundraising like the Indiegogos for specific things, I'm suggesting like the big general fund that would be for stuff on the ground, venue, food, things like that. That could go through, a bigger fundraiser, a bigger fiscal sponsor like that. That's all for now. Check.
Right on. Thank you, Jackie. Brother Carter has just joined us, and your mic is on if you'd like to check in, Brother Carter, or we're talking about fundraising right now on the agenda. That's where we're at.
Okay, hi everybody. It's Brother Carter, Occupy Sacramento. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, this is Brother Carter from Occupy Sacramento. I don't know how many are on the call, who's on the call, but welcome all, and I'm glad to be on the call. I know I came in a little late. I know you guys are discussing finances. I'm just going to sit back and listen a little bit. I'm just kind of upset a little bit. We missed a valid opportunity here in Sacramento. We had the national, actually the statewide movement on the fracking, and we had every group that you can possibly want to have here at our state's capital, but somehow along the line, I feel we didn't capitalize off of that, and also to bring that to being part of the agenda. And I know you guys are talking about fundraisers right now, but that would have been another great way to fundraise, because over 2,000 people or more showed up over the weekend here on the fracking issue. And that issue is not going away because the governor is not going to be signing nothing soon. But the old thing is, I'm going to try to see if we can regather all of those people to be a part of the national gathering, but we'll make amends to do something about energy, because that's the main frame around that, and that's where I believe everybody is drawn to right now around the fracking. So I'm going to try to remend that, but at the same time I want to listen to everybody as you guys talk about finances and bringing things here so that we can subsequently move on some of the areas where some of our folk are right now. I myself haven't been to the GAs and some of the other meetings because I'm overwhelmed with some other things that are going on. But still in the light and still in the focus. So, Chet, I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Right on. Well, thank you for that check-in, Brother Carter. I did watch some of that, or quite a bit of that event in Sacramento this weekend. It was amazing. Really good photos, really good videos. You know, again, not a lot of press coverage, but I hear you on the missed opportunity to hook up with folks, and it was right there in ground zero. So I can catch you up real quick. We have a kind of small call today. Now with you, I think we got 12. And since it's such a small call, I am mostly leaving everybody's mics open, and we're just kind of going for it. And so right now we have Gandalf, me, Dallas, Kathy, Daniel, Amanda, Jackie, Lisa, Joe, Sally, and Nikki from Palm Springs. And you. And everybody. And so on the agenda, on the Titan Pad, we kind of decided not to talk about process too much anymore, that we have a process and it's at least moving us forward, and that working group hasn't really met or done anything so much. So we're sidelining that. And then we talked briefly about how people need to sign up for the rest of the working group, and kind of skipped over outreach media and speakers right to fundraising. And somebody, I forget, I'm sorry, who made a point about Sue talking about the actual dates and events. And I don't disagree. I think it's kind of weird to put the report back before all that, talking about the venue and where we're at with that, because a lot of it kind of hinges on that. So we're actually kind of a bit into the fundraising discussion now. And Daniel, bless your heart, has agreed to try to help head up the fundraising group. Jackie has also made some efforts in that way. And my computer just froze, so I can't see what I wrote before. But is there anybody else that wants to chime in on the fundraiser? Oh, I know. I had one thing. So I was going to put myself on second. I don't really know because I wasn't involved last year at all. But my understanding was that whatever monies were left over in a Kickstarter account, I think, if you don't go get them, they're gone. They take them back. So I don't know if anybody can confirm or deny that, but you have to have enough to meet the threshold, and then they take the money, Dan says.
I can confirm that there's $92 in the AFGA account left over from last year. And those account, that's another thing about having it with somebody like that, is because the account can remain open like for as long as you want. It could be years. Check.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie. Okay. I have Sally. You want to say something? You're on stack?
Yeah, no, Jackie covered it. I was just going to say it wasn't in Kickstarter. It didn't disappear on us, whatever there was. Check.
Right on. Okay, so that's good news. We have at least $92 to work with. But probably not enough to rent any venues yet. So am I correct in thinking that you all in Sacramento have a GA this weekend, and there may be more progress made on that? And do we need to discuss this more, or should we kind of, I think we've made some good steps, and if Daniel and Jackie and, I'm sorry, it was you, Sally, wasn't it, that spoke up about fundraising. If you folks can get your heads together, and we need to, I think we need to do outreach and get more people involved. This is a big job, and I think it would be helpful if we had help. Does that sound good to everybody? All your mics are open, or else I've got 2 up twinkles, and I've still got 1 from Sally and Jackie, which is probably from before. And 1 down twinkle from Amanda, but I'm not sure from when that was.
Yeah, I think you just made a great segue into talking about doing some outreach, setting up Facebook parties to tell occupiers out there, we're here, we're planning, come on board. We used to do Thursdays. I would join in around 11:30 or 12. I'm not sure what time they started last year, to just post onto Facebook pages of occupiers and say, hi. So I recommend that. Check.
I put it down twinkling. I was just, my buttons were getting touched. Check.
Okay, so I'm on the Daniel here taking notes. So the dates for the event is on Old Business. And it says here, Occupy SAC will meet this Saturday. Let's decide on several dates for SAC to choose from. I'm kind of unaware about that. Who wants to elaborate? Check.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah,
Dallas, you have your hand up, and then Joe. Dallas, go ahead.
Yeah. I think we're kind of like done with dates until Occupy Sacramento meets according to our original plan, which I found on the decision pad, and nothing post-dated to that. It's up to them to come back to us with 1 or more dates and venues that we can work with them to agree on, and then we're out. And they're supposed to be meeting this Saturday, so hopefully we will have something shortly. Check.
Okay.
Just to respond.
Wait, I'm sorry, 1 second. Let me just point out the decision pad Sally mentioned is number 41. And I found that very helpful, so thank you for putting that together. And if anybody else can contribute to that, that is a really helpful tool to keep us on track and moving forward. And I'm sorry, I butted in. Go ahead.
I just want to say, though, that it's really imperative that Occupy SAC this Saturday during the GA really gets some kind of date, because people are just getting really impatient, myself included, unfortunately. And it's just such a turn off for people when we're telling people we're having an event and we don't know when, where, or how. Check.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Dallas, you want to say something?
I'm mostly speaking in the same vein as Daniel here, but the thing is, outreach is an issue. I don't think finding extra help is an issue. As much as the louder voices like to say Occupy is dead and this is a waste of time and this and that, you hear that a lot on social media. I think a lot of people who aren't being as vocal, if they saw something happening, would jump on board immediately. But if we go to them before we can give proof that something is happening, asking for help, it's going to give the impression that they have to do it all themselves. Nobody's going to volunteer to do it all themselves. Check.
Right on. Good point. Joe, you still have your hand up.
Sorry about that. I meant to up twinkle. I got fat thumbs and I got small keypads.
Right on. Well, it's nice to hear from you. It's good to know your mic is still working. Lisa, I think you were next up after that. Still yet, Lisa?
Yes. What I was hoping to do is yes, we will definitely come back with a date on after our GA on Saturday. But I just wanted to on this call kind of confirm if there are any weeks that are particularly bad, because I think we've gone farther on this call, unfortunately, than Occupy Sacramento has in delving into dates. So as I remember, the 14th through the 17th was not good for students coming from the Midwest. So that probably would be like a last resort date. And so were there any, and then we're going to look at July. I'm sure July 4th, every venue is going to be booked up. So I'm thinking either the last 3 weeks in July or the second week in August. Does anybody have any objections to those weeks? Go ahead and let's hear them now, and I'll write them down.
My understanding of the two main concerns, this is Sally, were college kids and full moon. So I believe those are the things to be aware of as you look at dates. Check.
Okay, thank you. I don't have the moon on this calendar, but I know Stephen Payen has been in touch with indigenous groups and with Idle No More. So I asked him to confirm. We're obviously not going to get all indigenous groups. We probably won't get really under baggage, but I'm hoping we can get Idle No More San Francisco, who had a very large presence in the anti-fracking rally. So if there are no objections to 2nd, 3rd, 4th week of July or 1st, 2nd of August, I will go ahead and present those at our Occupy SAC GA, and we will bat those ideas around and come up with a choice of dates. My own preference, having lived in Sacramento a long time, would be earlier in July because I think the weather will be a little cooler. I check.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. I have no hands up and an up twinkle from Sally so far on that. And does anybody else have any input about the dates and what Lisa can take to OCTAC this weekend for GA? Or are we?
Well, can everybody hear me? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Brother Carter.
This is Brother Carter. I know Stephen is not on this call today, Payan, is because his phone is messed up. I've been trying to communicate with him. I've been trying to communicate with him all day these last couple of days here until he gets another phone. So this is what's really throwing us off. So I think maybe the next call we'll have a little bit more, as far as like Lisa was saying with the General Assembly. We'll have a better focus on a date to nail down. But it's hard. It's been hard two ways, and that's as far as getting something nailed down, and then finances. Because if we do get it, right away, somehow we're going to have those monies in place to do that, and that's the main thing I think that we've basically been dealing with. I know even on the first location that we've been working on, we're talking about maybe $3,500 or more. Actually, it's about close to $8,000. So, and then trying to get something to where it doesn't cost and we're occupied. Well, I just got a news flash for everybody. The governor and the mayor, they're not going for that in Sacramento, and they will come with means necessary for us not to. And then for us to be planning, such as what we're doing now and talking about this, they will come and include themselves in to stop it. So I think it's best for us to work out something that we're financially, that we're pretty much, paying our way, in certain areas, and then using our constitutional rights from there, to put this on. But if we have any type of notion to where we're just going to lay out for 3 or 4 days and have something for nothing, it's just not going to happen. We might as well just get ready for conflict. So check. That's what I just wanted to put out there.
Right on. Okay. Good. Very good point. Okay. So it sounds like, okay, so I'm sorry. First of all, before I even go any further, I want to point out that Trisha's with us now. Aloha, Trisha. And
hello.
Hello. Your
Sorry,
mic is
Trisha.
on, as is everybody else's, because now I think we have 13 or 14 people on the call. And Jackie, I have a 5 up from Sally. And so, Sally, your mic is on now, and I had muted you for a minute because we got noise on you. So do you need help?
Yeah, no, I was just going to tell you I was hopping off the train. It would probably have to jump off for a while, but so far I've managed to stay attached. Check.
Right on. Okay. And I'll tell you what, so that's how we're going so far. So far we've got everybody's mics open and it's working. But if I hear a bunch of noise, I might mute you, especially while somebody else is talking for a minute or two. And in the meantime, okay, so Brother Carter, back to you. It sounds like you need to check with Stephen and you need to get I think Lisa and Brother Carter and Stephen need to get together on the date and figure out a place. And I hear you on the money. I mean, we need to be rolling on this. And so it sounds like we do have some energy for that. Daniel and Jackie and all these folks are saying that it can be done. And Kathy has her hand up. So let's call on Kathy and see what she has to ask. Go ahead,
Okay.
Kathy.
Hello. Hi. Well, just, Brother Carter was talking about a venue, and I was wondering if you wanted to start talking about that.
Yeah, let's do it. Go for it.
Okay. We've been checking. Lisa and I have been running around West Sac checking things out. And so far what we've come up with is the KOA campground. They have 19 sites where six people in each site, and it's $35 a night. And then they've got 2 sites where 10 people can stay. That's $55 per night. And so so far that's the best thing we've come up with. And we can, if we do get some money together, we can get a bus and bus people from it's just down West Capitol, as far as I know, and then over the bridge, and then we'll be in downtown where we want to be. And Lisa and I were also talking about instead of one place, setting up for one venue for 3 days, maybe spreading them out. There's the Capitol. We'd like to spend a day at the Capitol. There is Southside Park, which is really nice and has a stage. And then there's Cesar Chavez Park, which is where we occupied. So I think it'd be nice to go back there for a day. So anyway, that's what we'd like to do. Check.
Check.
Okay.
This is Brother Carter. Me and Kathy, we know each other here in Sacramento, and those are great options. But I just wanted to let them know over the weekend we launched the $15 an hour wage in Davis, California, and the mayor was one of the ones there to endorse it. And not only that, he endorsed the Occupy movement. So in saying that, we have not touched the surface of maybe even having something particular there, because this campaign on the wages is going to be still a continuance during that time. And not only that, I think if I can get some of these people from Davis to come to the meeting, Kathy, to the General Assembly Saturday, to see how there's some type of way that group can go in and talk to the mayor to see how we could bring a little bit of it there, and then particularly see how we can use the campus, when it comes to, setting up the tents and the camping. It's just an idea right now. It's just, and the reason why I'm saying it is because of the simple fact that I heard it come from the mayor of Davis of mouth, that he endorses the Occupy movement. He's endorsing the $15 an hour wage. And that's an economic issue that will be taken up around the country, along with fast foods and everything else that has to do with inequality. So maybe that's an area also that we can also conclude to, because it's not that far from Sacramento. Hello?
Sure, we could discuss that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to just put out there, because you guys didn't know what had happened and transpired over that weekend, because we didn't have very many people from Occupy Sacramento there. I was there because I was endorsing MLK Poor People's Campaign, the same thing. It's all about wages, it's about economics. But just hearing that, and I just wanted, since I had some of my group on the phone, I wanted to mention that to them so that we have another area, and then we have somebody that's endorsing us. I know for sure that the mayor of Sacramento is going to have problems with endorsing anything that we're doing, because we don't fit their agenda or criteria of the elite.
We don't care if he endorses us.
Right. So I'm just saying that's a leeway for us, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. Occupy Davis is disbanded, aren't they? Yeah. I don't think there's any occupiers left.
Well, part of the people that used to be in Occupy Davis is doing the $15 an hour wage. So.
Good.
So that would be actually the person that's doing that launched it came to me and said, "Brother Carter, you don't remember me, but I was a part of Occupy Sacramento, and I actually came here and started Occupy Davis." So it's there, because I don't think it would have been mentioned, if that was the case. So, but we'll take advantage of it and see where it takes us. Jack.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have hands up we have a stack now. So I'm just going to let everybody know that hands have gone up from Gandalf, in this order, Gandalf, Sally, Jackie, and Lisa. And I actually have muted Gandalf and Sally because you have noise. So I'm going to unmute Gandalf now and go ahead.
Yeah, this is Gandalf. I just wanted to try and clarify a little bit about what's coming up on Saturday. It's essentially, it's not actually a General Assembly, but a planning retreat that we're going to have from noon until 7 p.m. And it's going to be a bit of brainstorming, attempt to synthesize what we brainstorm, and to come up with a work product of bringing together as much input as possible of what people want to see happen at the National Gathering, what their vision is, what their contribution is, what they'd like to see happen. And we're hoping, and at least Lisa and I were talking about this previously, to have a site where all the Occupy entities can express their views somehow through social media, I suppose, so that we can print out copies of what people have to say about what they want to see, what they want to happen, what they think the purpose is. So we're trying to draw a lot of stuff together in that meeting on Saturday. We might have a General Assembly, but that would be incidental to the larger picture that we're just trying to bring as much information from the body together to start creating the form, the format, the shape of the NatGat. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about the venue. We're going to be talking about the dates, and we're trying to, as I say, draw on as many sources of Occupy as possible. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify what we're trying to do on Saturday, and I yield.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. That's sounds like an awesome clarification. I'm glad to hear that. And Sally, you are next up, so your mic is on now.
Sure. I was just going to ask, for those of us on the East Coast, how far apart are Davis and Sacramento? And the shuttling back and forth makes sense. I think it might if, check.
Davis is, Brother Carter, Davis is about maybe 15 minutes, no more than 20, if that, to Davis. We're just right outside the Yellow Causeway. That's what it's called. It's the Yellow Causeway, and like I said, it's not that far. You know, far as walking and all that, now that's a distance. But but the causeway, it's almost like if we were to do a 3-part from Woodland to Davis to Sacramento, you know, in that triangle, it would still be good as far as everybody still being in a close, tight knit location to get from one place to the other. It's just that if we did the shuttling, we would probably need about 3 or 4 buses, or maybe more. It just depends how many people we would be expecting, and then whatever location that would be in Sacramento that we'll be using that day, you know, or coming from Davis, you know what I'm saying, in that matter, or going to Woodland. And the reason why I'm leaving these areas open is because I know Stephen and the ladies have been working in the West Sacramento area, and all this is West Sacramento, Yolo County. But the difference is, you know, as far as Woodland being on the other side of Highway 5 and the other one being on 80 going towards the bay. And that would draw actually to the bay coming here more than anything. Check.
All right. Thank you. Okay, we still have our mini stack going with Jackie and then Lisa. And then Kathy has now raised her hand. So, Jackie, do you still have something to add?
Yeah, I wanted to, a couple of things. Say +1 to Cesar Chavez Park, they mentioned. I also wondered if anybody's been reaching out to churches and places like that. Like, it'd be great to all be in one big place. That's what we wanted to do last year. We thought we had this great bowling alley with, you know, land and Wi-Fi. It was going to be fantastic till the city pulled it on us. So I was wondering what about just sleeping at various places like churches and people's homes and couches, and then just having, you know, a permit in a park for a day. That'd probably be a lot cheaper. And the other thing I wanted to say, what Gandalf was just saying about the big meeting this week, it sounds fantastic. Another thing I would add, besides dates and all that, which he pretty much got to, is, you know, synthesizing what NatGat's going to be about, so we have a proposal or statement or something that we can get out, you know, with the press release and let people know what NatGat is about this year. Check.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's a great idea. I have to just butt in for a second and say that we did a 3-day march here on the Big Island from over about 30 miles. We don't march fast, so 10 miles a day. And 2 of our first days we stayed at people's private property, and the 3rd day we stayed at a church. That was the only way we could get it done. And so there are some advantages to utilizing private property. So I think it's a great idea. And then we still have Lisa and then Kathy on stack. So Lisa, you're up.
Yes. Jackie, how do we get aligned with this nonprofit group? Because I think that would really help us in our negotiations for parks and for other things that people might want to donate. So how do we go about doing that? I check.
Okay, well, I'm in touch with them, and I sort of was trying to propose that last week, but then Janet Wilson has also offered. So I think what I should do, I'll get a letter out tomorrow to the finance group and just see if we can get this stuff written down, what each what each 401c, 501c, whatever they are, has to offer, and then bring it back to you guys. And I can even write to you, Lisa, before your big meeting, so you guys can be a little informed. Oh, write to the whole group, whatever, if we get feedback by then. Check. Does that answer it? Check.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So what I will tell when we're going around to various places, if they ask us if we're a nonprofit group, we can say that we are in the process of
getting a fiscal sponsor.
In a couple of weeks, in a few weeks,
right.
The answer will be yes.
Just to hop in one more minute, the terminology is they will be our fiscal sponsor. So you can say you have fiscal sponsorship by a 501c3. Check.
Oh, thank you. That sounds so professional. They will be our fiscal sponsor. Thank you.
Lisa, this is Gandalf. Do we have a site that other occupiers can send their input to for Saturday?
No. I know we talked about this a little bit, and it's kind of, setting up a site or a page for people to make suggestions for the NatGat.
Right.
If anybody has any... Well, it doesn't have to end this Saturday. I mean, we could take input at any time.
Oh yeah. We may get together again, but
just in general, it would be nice to have concrete, specific suggestions. Whether it's who we should invite or whatever themes, right. Things that we could focus on. What do folks think about that? Would it be best to have a website for that, or just the Facebook page, or what's the best way to collect all of our suggestions and other suggestions? Should we just use the email
Facebook
list?
Page, email.
Sally is ever the Titan Pad fan.
Yep.
And we do have a lot archived there. It does make sense to kind of keep with that. It's the one thing that crosses over. Anybody on email can get to it. Anybody on Facebook can get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget the main public email, which is natgat2014@interoccupy.net. Or Gmail, that's what it goes to, natgat2014@gmail.com. Check.
Have them Twitter with the hashtag.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have Trisha.
And I realize it's Wednesday night, but I propose that we find some time to start a Facebook. Hey, send us your suggestions. Tweet us at hashtag NatGat2014, and we start getting those onto the recognizably active occupies in the next couple of days. So check.
Okay. All right, I need to point out we have a few raised hands. So in respect of process, I have a direct response from Tricia, and then on stack, Joe, Daniel, and Dallas. So Tricia, you're up. Go ahead.
I think that we could use that as in our outreach. We can use that question to outreach to the occupies and direct them to like a Facebook site or the email. And it'd be a nice way to, initiate contact is by asking them what they want. So the outreach group can work on that, language and the Facebook page, I think, and get some input from the occupiers around the country. Check.
Great idea. And I'm not sure if you were on the call yet before, but we have had a suggestion to do the Thursday outreach parties again, and so that's tomorrow. I don't know if anybody's ready to start tomorrow morning already, or day or evening or whatever, but that would be a possibility. And then we have still Joe. You're up, Joe.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to reiterate what Jackie was saying. Here at Pueblo House, we just received our 501c3 and 4, so we can be both tax deductible, tax free, and we could also be
what the fuck?
Endorse candidates. So we're all set all the way around. We'll be able to umbrella anybody, and once we get the page set up, we'll be able to roll with that. Check.
Okay. Thank you for that, Joe. That's right. I thought that was what we had talked about last time, that it was Pueblo House that was helping with the 501c4. It is good that we have lots of options. Okay, Daniel, you are next. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hi, I just wanted to first say that TitanPad sucks. Hi, am I here? Sorry. Yeah, I just say that TitanPad, I'm having extensive problems with establishing connections. Always have, always will. So that way I am missing some key questions that people asked. Can I ask who asked the question, how far is Davis, California from Sacramento, California? Check.
That was Sally. I just put the MapQuest thing into the TitanPad. And the catch with the
okay, that's all I need.
If too many people are using the same password, it bounces out. Check.
Okay. Clear. Thank you, Daniel. And Dallas, you're still up there on stack. You're up, Dallas.
Hi, yeah, getting back to this whole idea of centralized communication, I would, as far as people who aren't already involved in organizing, I would definitely recommend pointing them either to the interoccupied.net email address or just not doing that particularly and asking people to sign up for the mailing list. I mean, we do have 8 mailing lists that we, this is on me as well. We don't probably promote enough. If we want people to ask us questions, we can point them to the hub site and say, hey, go ask this question. Check.
Okay. That is a good point about crossover. I think a lot of things go down on Facebook, either in private tabs or in some group I'm not in. And it's just for transparency and so that you don't have to tell the same story over and over again. It would be good to utilize the emails more. Okay, we have a clear stack at this point. So how are we doing? Anybody want to jump in, or do OXAC people need anything else from this group before your Saturday meeting? How about that? Let's just be clear. Are we all good, or are there more questions or help we can offer? Anybody? I got Gandalf. Go ahead, Gandalf.
We could start off by a last word on where, if I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I want to send something to Sacramento Occupy so that they can put it in the hopper for the retreat this Saturday, what would be the internet address that I would use? At this point, I got the natgat2014 at Gmail. I thought that was maybe the last word, but then I'm not sure. What did we finally decide on?
Well, I think, like Dallas said, it's good to have several entry points. We don't want to streamline too much just because it cuts people out, or it can be, sidelined or waylaid in some way. Okay. So the NatGet2014 Gmail, I think, is excellent. And who's checking that?
Recommend interoccupied.net. It forwards to a Gmail account, but better to not use that directly.
Okay, but if they send to interoccupied.net, they need to go to the hub for NatGat, yeah?
No.
No.
Put in your email address, natgat2014 at interoccupied.net. And it goes right there.
Okay.
Right, it forwards over, and we did that so that we had a movement-looking email address instead of a corporate one. Check.
Okay, so send it all to there, inneroccupy.net. And who was it? Tricia or somebody suggested that they could tweet things with the official hashtag that we are using and the only one that we are using right now, which is NatGat2014. Hashtag NatGat2014. And that's kind of the one where, so then we can go back on Twitter or on Facebook, it works too. You can click on that hashtag and search it and go back in time and figure out. That's how we crowdsourced like video compilations for Dan did a Best of 2013, or no, looking forward to 2014. And that's what we did, was just have anybody upload it any way they can, Flickr or YouTube or whatever, and then we grabbed them from the hashtag. So the inneroccupy.net and the hashtag. And let's see. Oh, we have a hand up from Lisa. Lisa, go ahead. Or is that from before?
Yes. No. This was I wanted to put this question out because there are people on this call who've had more experience in planning this kind of a large gathering. If we picked a date that was fairly soon, say second week in July, does that leave enough time to invite presenters and musical acts and even other occupiers, or would later be better in order for getting people out to NatGat? I yield.
Well, we're now 3.5 months from early July. Did I count that right? Yeah.
It is quickly approaching.
So, 4 months to mid-July seems like a fair length, reasonable amount of time. Later may be better. I don't know how, if we're doing a concert, we definitely want musical acts, for sure. But in terms of presenters, I'm all for participants.
Okay. We have a direct response from Nikki. Go ahead, Nikki.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
What I would suggest on the date, the only suggestion I would make is try to keep it as close to that original August 7 through 10 that was originally thrown out there and, quote, designated as the date early on. The closer you can keep it to that date, the more energy we've been directing towards that time. And some people already have that in their heads. The best result was try to keep it as close to where we were targeting it for. Over.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. A couple up twinkles on that. And Sally, you've raised your hand. Go ahead.
The dates of the full moons are July 12th and August 10th. So we want to stay away from those so the indigenous folks can do their full moon ceremony. Check.
Okay. That's
day of the week.
July 12th and August 10th are the full moons. Stay away if can.
The 12th is a Saturday, July 12th, and August 10th is a Sunday.
Okay, I thought that's how I remembered it too. That our original dates were more, aren't they, like the 17th through the 20th or something? And then the big switcheroo was the August to 7 to 10. But that should have never happened. It should have never been promoted. There should not be an event page for it. There still exists a Facebook event page for that. And does it say August 7th to 10th? Because that's bad. That means we're promoting an event that we just don't really, that was one of those things that happened after that.
I suspect if it's still there, it hasn't had a lot of action on it. So
good.
I don't know how you can take down a Facebook page. I do very minimal Facebook as well.
Sorry, check.
Well, I haven't checked on it either. An event can be canceled. That actually is the easiest thing in the Facebook world to deal with, is an event. You can just cancel. It'll send out a notification to everybody that we've done that, though, and that might be bad news. Anything you do an event page sends out a notification. So if you change the date or change the time or put a Google Map location in or anything, it goes out to all. That's why event pages are good ways to promote events. I had no knowledge of the event page going up at all. I would not have recommended that at all. It's not something we want to promote for 3 months. Not like that. So, okay, so we have a variation of twos and a direct response from Daniel, and on Stack, I think it's old Lisa and Sally's, but we're going to call on you after Daniel. Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add what you were saying with Carrie, that we should that event, the August 7th Facebook event page, we should retrieve that and then conform that to whatever the new date Occupy Sacramento so chooses, instead of just canceling it, because that will notify everyone even more wrong news that we're not having a NatGat at all. Check.
I agree. It's just a little jacked up. So I had forgotten all about that event page until just now. I say clearly we table that until after Saturday and probably after next week's Wednesday call, and then figure out, and mostly just let a sleeping dog lie for the most part. Does that sound good to everybody? You're all on? And I have no stack and a various array of twos.
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah,
definitely. Because we don't want to send anything out that has the word cancel in it, because people just think the whole NatGat's canceled. So
I agree.
Yeah.
And we don't want to jack around the date a bunch of times either. You know, I say just let it lie for another week or so. It's fine. Because I think there's quite a few people already invited or attending, so I hate to see it all go to waste. Yeah. Okay, so the original thought here was kind of wrap up. While we've got the group assembled here, is there anything else we need for OXPAC? So that's what we've been talking about for their Saturday meeting. Other than that, we have a clear stack. And back to the TitanPad agenda, we are careening through old business. And is there anything else we want to talk about with that, with the dates or events, or let's move on? How's everybody feeling? Sally, you have a hand up. Go ahead, Sally.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's delay that.
That's your big thumb, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Right on. I butt dial people constantly. I'm one of those people, so I understand. Okay, well then, looking back at the TitanPad number 4, agenda type situation, new proposals. We kind of went through this, I think, Chaz. Should we focus on simultaneous regional gatherings? He asked. I think we wait till after Saturday and talk about it next week. Somebody else has commented, no, this is NatGat. We should have online access and live stream. Well, I think we could, we're occupied. We can online live stream any decentralized thing. That's what we do, man. Okay. Can we have NatGat during the 4th of July? Oh, he specifically asked about the 4th of July, and that was mentioned. I think it's going to be a horrible weekend. I think as soon as you start looking at venues, that's going to be out. But something to consider according to the dates that's already agreed upon, which is hopefully not around July 12th or 10th, August 10th, because of the full moon. And Facebook parties, covered it. Best place to post specific events suggestions, we discussed that. Facebook email list webpage. Press deadline. Okay, so we're still, do we want to go back to report backs? Because we kind of skipped out on that. Is there anybody that needs to speak up for media or outreach or speakers? I think we've kind of talked about fundraising already too. Do we have any outreach, media, or speakers report back?
I do.
Go for it.
I talked to Chris Felucci. I sent him a Facebook message. He says he was the press person for Occupy Sacramento, and he was actually a newspaper man there for about 20 years. And he's a little busy now, but we are on his radar, and they had press conferences every day. And I think that would be a great idea for Occupy National Gathering, just to have a press conference every day on the steps like they did for Occupy Sacramento. Also, for outreach, we might be different, but it's the caravan is, people are thinking about the caravan. The person who did, Scotty Love, who did the caravan the first year, he financed it himself, and he reached out again, and he said that it takes, financing, planning, and people power. So if we could, put that together, I know Chaz is working on that, but that's a great outreach because you stop everywhere along the way, and the press is in these little towns, they're looking for things to talk about. So, and the outreach party would be great, but I work now on Thursday at lunchtime, so if we could find a date, a time, I'll write on something on the outreach Facebook page about having a party where I can attend and play you music. Check.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think that's a great idea. My suggestion was that we have outreach parties anytime there's 2 or more partiers available. So we had a direct response from Nikki before, but now we have several uptwinkles on what you just said, by the way, Trisha. And Nikki, did you still want to speak, or you changed to twinkle? Nikki from Palm Springs?
I just need to jump off the call now because I'm going to the meeting, but thank you for everybody's work. And if outreach, I guess it's Saturday is our next conference call, so I will jump on that then. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Right on. Aloha, Nikki. Okay, well, and then Daniel. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm here. Am I here?
Direct response. Go ahead, Daniel.
Okay. I just wanted direct response. Who, not Nikki, but the person before, who was that? Who spoke?
Trisha.
Check.
That was Trisha, talking about the press conference, and the caravan and all that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for taking notes. You're a trooper. Honestly, I think it's the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I have.
Go ahead.
I have another kind of question. Trish, we did not formally introduce and check in Trisha. I don't know where she is or who she's with. Check.
Oh, okay, Trisha. Tell them who you are.
I am Patricia McKernan McManus Shore. I live in Philadelphia, and I was involved with Occupy Philly. I was in the Interfaith Working Group, Occupy Philly Interfaith Working Group, and then I helped. I was on the encampment strategy for NatGat 1 in Philly, so that's how I kind of got in it. And then when Kalamazoo came along, I tried to help online with that. So that's where I'm coming from, and so I'm an activist. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a mom. I have a ton of kids. I live in a shoe. I have so many children. I don't know what to do. But I guess that's it. Check.
Thank you, Trisha.
Right. Thanks, Trisha. Well, still yet then. Oh, wait, let me see. Lisa, you have a direct response. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, question for Tricia. you mentioned that last year you were able to house people in churches, and it sounds like you were part of an interfaith coalition. That maybe that helped. So were people housed in their activity rooms, and how were you able to get the churches to agree to this and not be worried about what's going to happen to their private property, people they don't know spending the night there? Maybe we could do the same thing. So how did you get this done? I check.
Well, it was it was called Operation Sanctuary. That's what it was called. I knew that there was going to be police aggression on the first year because of the encampments just had gotten dispersed, and so I did go around, and we all went around to our churches and my meeting. I'm a Quaker of the Arch Street Meeting House, and I've been worshiping there for like 20 years, and even with them, it was just to the last minute. It was supposed to be only for emergencies. So all we did was we have a brick wall. It's like an 8-foot brick wall all around the big property. And what we did was the occupiers stayed in the parking lot and not in the grounds, and because it was a fragile historic building, so we couldn't have them use the bathrooms or anything like that. So it was like separated, and we had the congregants, the members of the meeting, stayed there 24/7. We put together like a team of people who were in the Peace and Social Concerns Committee, and we stayed there the whole time. So they respected the space because it was a sacred space. I mean, there was things that I saw later on YouTube that I wished didn't, but mostly it was really cool, and the cops couldn't even see in because of the brick wall. They even rented a Holiday Inn room because it was the only place where you could see what was going on inside. So we had them write a letter. So the friends in Kalamazoo, I reached out to them, and they also were very helpful. They can't really house everyone, but they can give you sanctuary, because that's really our natural allies, not the businesses, not the not even private property. It's the churches, and they have property. They have big kitchens. So I suggest everyone in Sacramento, if there's an interfaith group, that they be notified that this is going to be happening, and they might open up their resources. I'd be willing to work on you with you on that, Lisa. Check.
Great. Thank you very much. I will be in touch.
Okay.
And last year, the Quakers were just able to take children and was it like children and disabled people maybe? So like a dozen
family
people.
Friendly. Yeah. Yeah, they had about, I think this was 15 or 20 family friendly folks. They were really helpful. And having that, referral from the Philadelphia Quakers the year before, and I was there, and we had their visioning sessions in that parking lot every night at Philadelphia. And I sat and chatted with the folks who were there watching over the property. They were really welcome. It was awesome. Check.
Okay. Gandalf, you have a direct response?
Yeah, I was just, as soon as we have a date, I think we could approach every church in the Sacramento area. The church right across from me here, Westminster Presbyterian, takes in homeless to sleep overnight once a month. And I think that they might be open to helping us out. But I think there might be many churches that would just need a phone call and talking to somebody of influence. And as soon as we have a date, I plan to at least, if we go in that direction, I think that it will be fairly direct, go through the phone book and start making calls. So, okay, I yield.
Okay, thanks, Gandalf. We had great. On our march, we stayed at a church for the third night, and I think it was Tricia that said they had full kitchens, they had bathrooms. We didn't have to rent porta potties. We were on private property, so nobody messed with us. The best Grateful Dead show camping I ever did was in a farmer's field. with no porta potty. So I'm down with that. And we have an open board. If anybody else has anything to add, just jump in because your mics are on.
Well, even it's kind of a direct action at the churches too, because when they said no, they really had to say no, and it was kind of a sobering experience. But I kind of expected some of them to say no, because it was at the time where everybody thought occupiers were dirty and all this other stuff going on in the tents and things. But I think doing that in our own congregations is an interesting experience. But the Quakers came through, even though it had who's gonna fix the broken windows? I said, there's nobody gonna break any windows. But that's what we're gonna have to deal with. So it's kind of a bracing experience for people of faith to see how much we don't love the stranger, and how and to do that, it was a great experience for our congregation. People got closer together. They spent hours and hours and hours together just jawing under these trees, and got to meet people from all over the country. So I think Operation Sanctuary, check.
Sanctuary. Tweet it.
Can I ask Tricia? Tricia, wasn't there a letter that came out of that from the Quakers that sort of said how great it was and how everybody was? Maybe that would help the folks in SAC to have something like that to bring around. Check. Am I remembering that right? Check.
Yeah. Yes, you are. The clerk of the meeting wrote an article in Friends Journal that has a link that you guys can print. So it's tweetable too. So I'll send that stuff in an email. Check.
Cool. Right on. Gandalf, do you have something to add?
Don't think so.
Okay, it might be an old floor. I haven't put down. There's hardly any stacking going on, so I haven't put down hands in a while.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I do have something totally separate. If we're done with what we're done with.
Moving on. Floor is yours, Miss Jackie. Go for it, baby.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. And actually, it kind of goes in with fundraising and with where the venue would be. I sent emails early about Share Tribe. I don't know how much people checked it out or not, but this is an online way that you can sort of set up, not a store, but like an exchange back and forth. We used it last year for people to post, I need a ride from here, and somebody else then can hop on. The communication is private. You wouldn't put on there, oh, I'm Jackie from Franklinville, come and get me. You would put your email or whatever and then talk to people. The reason I want to bring this up is maybe on Saturday, I've been meaning to reach out to a few of you. I think Brother Carter talked a lot about being connected with food venues and stuff like that. One of the things we could do with, like people mentioned, porta potties, tents, tables, anything. You can sort of put all this stuff up and then let people try to create those things themselves. What I'm envisioning, I would be very happy to bottom line the like online end of keeping that organized, but I think it would take people in Sacramento reaching out to local businesses, let's say the porta potty people, and saying, would you mind, putting your address and everything up there? Can you take credit card or phone orders, and we can direct some business your way? And then, we can do that for everything, like food, tents, etc. I know Brother Carter had mentioned food from different restaurants. Could even do it like that, like during the occupations when people would dial in and send pizzas over to the camps. So maybe you could talk about that on Saturday. If there's 2 or 3 people who would like to be like the foot people there to go out and contact places, I'd be more than happy to put that together and see what we can do. Check.
Right on. Okay, thank you, Jackie. Does that sound good, OXAC people? Sounds good. Sally, you're on staff.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, we tried to do something similar with Occupy Sandy. Of course, when you have the Amazon registries, we didn't have too much success with the local registry, but the Share Tribe seems like it's the way to do that. And yeah, you may or may not need a physical address to get things shipped to. I don't know. We're way too early for that. We're still conceptual.
Right on. Okay, we have Clear Stack again. Okay, Share Tribe. Jackie's on it. Who's going to help Jackie?
Anybody?
Fundraising is so not my gig, you guys. You do not want me to fundraise. I can't fundraise for myself. But I appreciate you all doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I did say that I have Indiegogo experience. I'd like to share my talents with that. So I would, again, as Brother Carter said earlier, and others, I would do it for a specific thing. Let's say, for the transportation end of it, which is the original reason why I'm here, is to make sure, bottom line, transportation and shuttling options for people to fundraise. Check.
Okay.
Does anybody know if Occupy Supply, I think that was through Fire Dog Lake, is still in existence? Because I know they provided a lot of tents and clothing and all sorts of useful things.
Yeah, this is Joe Hawk.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is Joe Hawk. Yeah, they're still up and running. In fact, Pueblo House still gets our OccuCards through them. They're still open and running. I could get a hold of them if you like. Check.
Thanks.
That would be great.
That would be great.
Yes, please. And let us know on that. I have several Occupy Supply hats and water bottles and other various things too. So they were very generous to us. Anybody else?
I think Barb Smith got some things last year. Am I right? Did she bring things? Because I think she's connected with them somehow.
Yes. And the impression I got was that it scraped the bottom of the barrel, that they didn't have much, but they were able to send some. Check.
Yeah.
You think we could get some print-on-demand stuff? That would be so cool. I always wanted, these sites. We could just upload images and people can print on demand, and I don't know. Or we can. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just really feel like we need a logo and some way to make money, generate something. I think having the Share Tribe and doing, using some of the Occupy Sandy tactics is really great. So I think that's an idea. Using our online platforms to generate income and interest. Check.
Request from Occupy Sandy, however, please keep Amazon for disaster recovery only, because we don't want to give those corporate types so much. But you need it in a disaster, Sure.
Right. So, disaster training might be an interesting topic, because now there's been Colorado did it, and then, and then all these other, Norman, Oklahoma. There's a lot of communities that use the things that you guys did in Occupy Sandy to, respond to these things, and even the West Virginia water people, and just giving people a heads up, because sooner or later it's going to be our turn in the barrel, so we might as well learn from each other and do that kind of I had another better word than Skillshare, but I'll think of it later. Check.
I like Skillshare. I thought we were going to do Skillshare.
I know we are going to do Skillshare. It's going to be even
right?
better.
It's not going to be. That's the old word.
Oh no, I think it was the activist camp from Backbone, the Backbone campaign. A little bit of activist boot camp stuff would be pretty funny. Like just like how would you deal with an emergency? You know, like how people deal with emergency and first aid training, and have like that kind of ability when you go away from the Occupy National Gathering, you'll be able to like do that kind of thing. In your own community. I think that's what it could be, like a concentration of interest in intelligence and effort, and then people go back to their neighborhoods and do the things like Brother Carter's friend in Davis, who is doing the $15 an hour project. So that's how I think we got to use it as a useful thing, not just a party, not just a self-congratulatory thing, or even like a reunion. More like you'll come out of this with skills, and you'll come you're a hardcore occupier, and I think that would be interesting to have that approach, like all these things you can take back home, and then the movement can grow that way in the grassroots, like the little seed going out and being planted in all these different places. Check.
Good point. I agree. Okay, we have Daniel on stack.
Hey, I just wanted to, well, first of all, I feel like this meeting is supposed to be adjourned. So before I leave, I want to just kind of remind everybody different tasks and responsibilities that they would claim ownership to and would do for the group. Sorry about that. Okay. So, okay, anyways, so, are you guys, am I still here?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay. So, yeah, so in general, just to kind of give, basically I'm just trying to file through this note. So, Trisha said that she can share the article online that the Quakers wrote for housing occupiers. That's one thing. Joe Hawk can contact Occupy Supply from Fire Dog Lake, as the Pueblo House utilizes them. Check. Another is, of course, Jackie will contact the finance group. Let's see. Jackie will contact the finance group, and then.
And that was about the getting a nonprofit sponsor for.
Yeah. Well, kind of finalizing with sponsorship with Alliance for Global Justice, and then Lisa, you can start saying that if NatGat has a fiscal sponsor for Alliance for Global Justice, and then of course Occupy Sacramento will have their Saturday planning retreat of 7 hours, which I salute you guys for that. Otherwise, people, we're all on our toes for a date, and we are all very excited and ready to go. Say goodbye. Oh, check.
All right. Thank you for that rundown, Daniel. Excellent. Does anybody else have anything to add about Daniel's list of who's going to do what? That's pretty well covered.
For those on media and outreach, conference call Saturday afternoon.
Oh, good call. Saturday afternoon. Can you say what time it is? Because I'm in Hawaii and I'll say the wrong time.
2:30 East. Which would
I'm
be
sorry,
what?
say again. It cut out.
2:30 East, which would be what? 11:30 California, and onward.
Okay, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 California. That is 9:30 a.m. for all you Hawaii people. Crack at dawn on a Saturday. Okay, so Saturday outreach media call, and then we also mentioned about having the Facebook parties on Thursdays or any other day that would work with Tricia and anybody else.
I guess we should put that on the agenda for the media outreach call to finalize a day or time. Do we want to send a doodle? How do we want to?
Yeah, well, we can just maybe say I'm on, or first maybe we'll divide up the tasks, and then but I actually, just to clarify, I am available like Thursday afternoon after 1 o'clock. Check.
Okay.
I know I won't get on unless I know there's a specific time. That's just me.
Right. Hi.
Okay. And there is the Facebook group for outreach too. That might be a good way to put the Periscope up and see if anybody's on. Because I know we're not all friends with each other yet either, so that makes that more useful. Okay. Then, moving on. Did we want to talk about, by the way, it's 2:41 in Hawaii, so we have 20 minutes left on this call. Anybody? Otherwise, let's see, I'm trying to scroll up. We've kind of skipped around on the agenda, and the bottom part we've pretty well covered, except for the press release. Is there anything that this group needs to talk about, the press release, or can we talk about that on Saturday with the press people? Anybody on the press release for April 4th? Otherwise, I think we work that out and bring it back to the group next week. Okay, well, going
Sounds
back
good.
Yeah, right on. I mean, there's no sex, no twinkles, no nothing.
Oh, dear.
No nothing. I'm just on my own here. Thank you. Okay, back to report backs. It's the only thing that we really haven't fleshed out entirely. I think outreach media, we need to get together again on Saturday. We've already talked about outreach quite a bit. Speakers, or kind of, the disaster training activist boot camp plan. Do we need to flesh that out anymore yet, or are we pretty good for today? Gandalf, you have raised a hand. Go for it, Gandalf.
Yeah, as far as the press release, I was hoping that it would wait at least long enough for us to process the input that we get at the planning retreat. I'm not sure what we're going to come up with, but I'd like there to be room, in the press release for what we're working on.
Up twinkle from me. I am down with that. I think we're on track if we just wait for you all on Saturday and then report back next week, Wednesday. We've still got time as a media group to put it together and get it out by April 4th. We've still got a couple weeks. So I think that's totally reasonable.
Good.
Okay. Anybody else want to put a hand up about presser stuff, or do we want to talk any more about programs? Are we ready to do that? We've got quite a full slate, each of us, of stuff to do for over the next week. I really, really like Brother Cotter's idea, though, about focusing on energy and that kind of stuff. The fracking event was amazing. I think we definitely need to figure out who was there and why, and outreach to those people and try to get them to support this event too. Darn it. My computer's frozen. So if anybody wants to talk, just talk. Because I can't get back down.
Sally?
Yay, there's my stack. Sally, go ahead.
Yeah, I was at an event at the Methodist Church near the UN today, TPP, Why It's a Feminist Issue. And I'll tell you, I haven't heard so detailed a presentation and as scary a presentation. I mean, talk about Occupy issues of corporatism. That has the potential for changing not only our society, but world society in general in really horrible ways. So, check.
Definitely. You know, this would be a good chance to mention, too, about how we're a totally nonviolent group and OPSEC and all of that. So.
I want to throw one thing in back to when Tricia was talking about maybe doing trainings for disaster. I wondered if everybody has seen, and if you haven't, I'll post it on the Facebook page again. The DHS put out a study last week, I think it was March 7th, with glowing reports of Occupy Sandy and recommending, several things, of course, leveraging social media for, for the mainstream disaster people, for the mainstream disaster groups. So that's really interesting. And if you haven't read it, I'll pop it on the Facebook page. Check.
Yeah. If that's the one that I read, they said something like, well, are we going to learn from these folks and take this to heart as our mainstream disaster responders? I know that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Right on. Thanks for bringing that up. That flew by in my news feed, and I never did get to check on it, so I'd love it if you reposted it.
Yeah.
Okay. Still yet with the open stack and 13 minutes remaining on our call. Anybody else have any last 13 minutes kind of situation they want to talk about?
Food bag?
Yeah, good week.
Okay.
In the morning. It's good, man.
All right. You found it. Good job. Good job.
Okay, I think that was Brother Carter saying goodbye to somebody. Okay. Do I have hands up from Sally and Gandalf, or did I just restart my list accidentally?
No, that was hand up for me.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, and various up twinkles from various people. Alrighty. Good meeting, y'all.
Yes.
I think we got quite a few things accomplished, and we are well on track.
Great.
Is anybody, okay, so we have all the mics open. Should we start checkout?
One question before we do. Does anybody, I understand there was a group working on a guidebook. Does anybody know what's happening with that?
The guidebook. Does anybody know about that?
What's that?
Was Tricia working on that? I thought Tricia was doing something with that. I don't know if she's still on the call.
Falling off the call.
I think it's. Whoops! I'm really glad Sal set that up. I'm sorry, I can't hear though. To speak. Can you mute whoever that is?
I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, I think it's Daniel.
There we go.
Off.
Okay. At any rate, there's a group. I think it's All Streets. I think I'm very confused about it. I thought they were connected first with the 7 Generation group that had was trying to set something up in Connecticut with indigenous people over there. And then, so Mary Magdala, I'm not sure if she's connected with them or if it's separate, All Streets. They've been putting up a lot of media and saying they're doing the artwork for the PAMF book and all that, but I'm totally confused as to what's going on there. Whenever I've asked a question, I only get more confused, so I sort of have dropped out of wondering. I think Tricia does know what's going on, though. So let's check with her. But I just wanted to weigh in on that I'm very confused about it.
Yeah.
Check.
I echo your confusion, Jackie. And we have a direct response from Dallas.
All right. As far as I'm pretty confused too. But basically, what I do know is, by the way, I'm not technically affiliated with All Streets. I'm just friends with Sparrow. Sparrow got fed up and decided she needs to go get paying work, and left me all of the artwork last time she was in New York. So I have a box full of artwork that I don't have money to scan in because I don't own a scanner and can't spend all the money it goes to do it. But basically, I need to get all the Sparrows and Marys and who else's stuff scanned in so we can all figure out what to do with it. I'm not particularly good with visual arts. All I know what to do with it is scan it and show it to you guys. As soon as I can, I will. If anybody's like local to New York and wants to help out with that, I will be glad to meet them and give them this box of artwork. But yeah, that's basically what happened with that. Check.
Well, I'm in New Jersey, but I don't know if my parents' scanner is working. My time is crazy, but let's talk offline. Maybe I can help somehow. Yeah.
Thank you, Sally. Okay, so did you catch that? Sally might be able to help out with the scanning from New Jersey. Awesome blossom. Okay, yes, I'm confused about the artwork and Mary and All Streets, and that has something to do with our press release too, but Sparrow said it doesn't, so I don't know what's going on with all of that, and I hope to learn more on Saturday. That's my plan about that. Okay, so if Dallas and Sally can hook up, maybe we can get some stuff scanned. And they've been making kind of cool artwork and cartoons and stuff. One of the characters has Lake Waiau on her chest, so of course I'm very interested because that's my lake up on my mountain. Okay, we have a clear stack again still. Is there any other last 8 minutes issues that we need to address before next week? Just speak. Oh, wait, except I have to turn on, I'm sorry, I'm backing up and I have to turn back on Daniel and Brother Carter because I couldn't tell which one of you was noisy. So now everybody's on. How we doing, folks? Everybody all good?
All here.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, let's have an early checkout. Check.
Woo! All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope next week we see you all again, and I hope everybody brings a friend next week. Let's have that as a goal. Everybody bring a new person. And let's double this group. And let's go down the stack and check out. We'll have Gandalf, then Dallas, then Daniel. Gandalf, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, checking out, I had written a little statement about the purpose of Occupy National Gathering and a couple of minutes, and I thought maybe if there's time at the end you'd let me give it, but I leave that up to you. But
I think that's great. We've still got a few minutes. Go for it.
You got it. Want to? Okay. Let me just say it. As we're moving forward on this planning process, there's been some questions about the purpose of Occupy National Gathering. And it's clear that we really need to fully explore the possible purposes of the gathering. It's likely, in fact, that the National Gathering will be a multi-purpose endeavor. So I just thought I would suggest a few of the possibilities of purpose. First, I think the gathering should promote unity, solidarity, and community within Occupy. And next, I think it should serve to define, legitimize, and promote the Occupy movement. And I also believe it should model and illustrate the horizontal, inclusive, consensus-driven, love-centered community ethos which Occupy has come to represent. And I believe that this gathering should give every equal citizen within Occupy an opportunity to express his or her individual views so that everyone knows that their opinions have been heard and honored. This is how buy-in and ownership is spread throughout the Occupy community. I believe we must organize and prioritize our list of grievances into a coherent whole and become more effective at marketing Occupy. And I believe Occupy must move beyond protest and grievance. We must also offer America a reasoned and persuasive option to our current violent, predatory, unjust, and inhumane social system. We must be able to articulate an alternative path for the American democracy. And finally, we must hope that this gathering will serve to build bonds of friendship, trust, and camaraderie across the nation of Occupy. That this gathering will act to bring us together so that we might discover fresh perspectives and new paradigms which will move Occupy into the future and which will inspire in this nation a renewed hope for a new and better American democracy. So bring on the American Spring. Occupy. I yield.
Great, Gandalf.
Woo-hoo.
You did that.
Love it.
You did that in those few minutes. Oh, kudos, Jack.
Yeah.
All twinkles, baby. That was awesome.
Good.
I would like to ask the chair to insert Gandalf's words as my own into the record. Da-da-da. Right on. Okay. That's awesome, Gandalf. Can you email that to us? Or Facebook it or anything? I mean, honestly, that's gold.
Sure.
I really, really like it. Thank you.
I'll type it out. It's handwritten right now, so I'll try and put it on the web.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
For the email list. Jack.
Yeah, do the email list. It's the most useful to most people, I think, at this point.
All right.
Because anything can be transferred from there. Yeah?
Okay.
Right on. Okay, thank you, Gandalf. And moving on down the checkouts, we have Dallas followed by Daniel.
Wow, tough act to follow. That was awesome, Gandalf, and that was awesome, all the rest of you. This is a really great, productive meeting. I feel like we got stuff done. I'll probably talk to most of you guys on Saturday. Whoever I don't hear from on Saturday, looking forward to next week. Chat.
Right on. Thank you, Dallas. Okay, Daniel, you're up.
Yeah. So this is a really cool meeting. I want to do this again. Again, I have to say, Titan Pad sucks. I keep getting disconnected right now. But other than that, I really enjoyed this meeting. Check.
Thank you. I agree. I did forget about the timing out, reconnecting thing all the time. Might be good for future note takers, whoever volunteers, and bless their heart, and Daniel's and Kathy's and everybody's that ever taken notes. You got to do it almost like on an email or something, and then copy and paste it over. Otherwise, it's a continuous problem. Okay, moving on down the checkouts. Amanda, can you speak? And you're up.
I can. I just got out of class, actually.
Right on. Well, we're checking out. You have parting words for us?
Just solidarity and good work to everybody. And I don't have class next week, so hopefully I can actually participate. Check.
Yay. Yay, yay. All right. And I appreciate you calling in. It's really helpful, even if you can't talk, like Amanda is doing, to call in and at least up twinkle and down twinkle on stuff so we can get a better consensus from the group. So I appreciate your effort, Amanda. Thank you. Okay, continuing down the stack, we have Jackie followed by Lisa. Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah, it was a productive call, and you guys in Sacramento have a great meeting on Saturday. Check.
Right on. Lisa, you're up.
Oh, this is Lisa, Sacramento. Carrie, thanks for moderating a really, really fantastic call. I feel like we've got some momentum going now, and let's continue it. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Right on. Thank you. Lisa is the one that cajoled me into facilitating this call, so thank you, Lisa, for cracking the whip. I appreciate it. Okay, and then we have 3 more checkouts left from Joe, Sally, then Brother Carter. Joe, go ahead.
Hey, it's a great discussion tonight, guys. Appreciated hearing everyone's voice. Enjoy your week, and I'll enjoy next week's call again. Have a good evening. Bye.
Right on. Thank you, Joe. Okay, Sally, checking out.
Okay, here in Woodcliff Lake, thank you. Great call. Looking forward to talking to media and outreach on Saturday, and hope Sacramento has a good meeting. Also, on the Titan Pad issue, make sure that it's not a password thing, because that's the key to why it drops off if you're in the wrong password. If too many people use the password. Check.
Okay, thank you. And Brother Carter, you're our last checkout.
Okay. I want to say that I enjoyed being on the call. I thought the call today was productive. Small drip makes a big puddle in anything you do. On the energy focus, as far as when we're talking about fracking, if you guys, like I said, if you go to Chickenfoot Ranch at yahoo.com and request for Karen Perry to give you the information on energy. It's a whole entire book. It's eco-friendly, and it talks about all of these areas of where we're preserving all this energy from. But the whole entire forum, I believe by the summer that the nation will be talking about this, and this will be a part of the NAGAT conversation. And to increase that conversation where we can get support and help is by us reaching out to Karen Perry for this and requesting that it be part of the NAGAT. And I think more and more information could probably go out on that end to help bring people into the whole entire forum, because it all goes together socially and economically. And in saying that, the last thing I wanted to see if we can get by the next call is my brother came on from New York, and he talked about the April 4th MLK National Day. If someone can contact him to at least give us some information that we can have, so that, because right now I'm planning that at our state's capital here in Sacramento to do that, so that we can continue to bring awareness to Occupy in the areas that we meet. But in saying that, let's all continue to be like glue and continue to stick together, and remember, a small drip makes a big puddle, especially when you're connecting on the love revolution. Check.
Right on. Thank you, Brother Carter. And one more time, can you tell me Chicken what ranch?
Chickenfoot. Chickenfoot Ranch. And
Chickenfoot.
They're an activist center. They're
right
well
on.
known. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you for that, and thank you everybody for your time today. I think that was a good one. We did good. Congratulations. Yep. Everybody reach around and pat yourself on the back.
That's right.
You did good.
Just somebody.
Hey. Good job facilitating. Really strong.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. See most of you on Saturday. See the rest of you next week. Ahoy ho.
All right. And off. Checking out.